Lag out frequency in different servers.
What do you
Like,
mean?
let's say,
like for example, internet connections. Like, say for example, Robert. Not trying to throw shade at you, but I've been throwing a shade on a lot of people in this discussion video. I apologize to you guys, whoever
oh
watches
my.
this.
No more
I'm throwing a
shade
lot
at
of
me.
shade. Crush, you might be next now that you just said that. But seriously though, like I find that Rob tends to lag out more when he's on East servers than when you were playing in the West.
So how do you think it should like differ?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know how they could fix
The
it.
game speed shouldn't
You're
your
saying it
latency
shouldn't
shouldn't
kick you
slow
after the
you
15
down.
second. It
No,
shouldn't take 15 seconds to decide to kick you, or
like if the game knows you're laggy, tell you this session may not be the best thing for you. Like it should show you your
you're
ping.
saying like
It'll
how
be like
strong your
Fortnite, a
connection
ping bar.
is.
Ping bars. I was gonna say
Oh.
other
Yeah,
games
it's
have ping bars
that
where
actually
it'll
would be
show you
dope
what
as
your
fuck,
ping is.
man.
And that could even help just to say, like, hey, if you got a high ping, your latency is probably going to be high, so you're probably going to need to time your shot differently.
They just implemented it into COD this year. They have the ping bar on like the side of the screen.
Ping bar's been in COD
Ping bar's been in COD since
No,
the
like
original COD.
it would tell you if you're lagging like badly.
Yeah, well, they've had
does
ping
that.
bars in
Like,
COD
I
for a
remember
long
in
time.
the old, I remember in old Modern Warfare 2, Willie, if you check the scoreboard, it would show everybody's ping bar. But yeah, ping bar would actually be dope as fuck, man, because then you could have someone like Willie be able to tell if he's lagging or not while he's in a game.
Oh, we all know that Willie's always lagging.
I lagged out the least compared to Rob.
That dude lagged out for a whole month one time.
Okay, Willie.
Watts used to have it bad.
I was gonna say,
Watts
I think it's more.
Maxie,
really?
No,
you remember when Willie lagged out for a whole month?
It's more Robert and Watts that have the lag problems.
Rob and Watts have it.
Rob and Watts have the lag problems, especially when Rob is in
I'll
a
never forget
thunderstorm.
Watts,
He's like,
bro.
it's unplayable for him when he's in a
I
thunderstorm.
remember like every second pro-am game we had to watch if Watts lagged out. It was bad.
Yeah, like Watts has real bad lag issues some days. And again, Watts, I love you like a brother, but yeah, just throwing that out there.
Step brother.
That's it for me.
Editing this is gonna be a pain in the fucking ass.
Have fun with your 3-hour pain trip.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Crestline, you got anything?
I do have a couple things, but most of it was kind of
Well, if it was already covered, Crestline, there's no shame in saying that is something you want to see, right? Because
yes. Well, I could say for well, I got a couple things actually. One of the biggest things, which I know was a big issue, was with my team, the position locks. They just need to either keep with it or just get rid of it. Which in turn, it would be a good idea.
100% agree with that.
Yeah, I felt like position locks was just a way for them to make more money.
Oh yes, it definitely was, because
like
then...
just so they could sell a center LeBron and a point guard LeBron and a shooting guard. Like they've got a LeBron in each bloody position.
And Giannis also has a card in each position too now.
Stupid.
Like they have a Shaq playing point guard. That's how you know. That's how you know this game. Like they just didn't give a shit about the position locks this year.
Towards the end, they just.
Yeah. Not even towards the end, about midway through, they stopped caring about position locks.
Yeah, they just started going whack.
Yeah, because like when they first released the All-Star Flash Packs, there was a glitched Ben Simmons that was point guard. And even now they have a prime series Ben Simmons that could play
point guard.
Dude,
yeah, I was gonna say like if they play
glitched
point guard,
Hato is my best card still.
Like they have a Dirk Nowitzki that can play shooting guard, for God's sake.
Yeah, I got the glitched Hato that plays point guard, 6'10", and just drops buckets.
Yeah, like
and then you just back down a 6'1" point guard and then do a post hook over him.
Jokic can also play point. Giannis can play point guard.
That point guard Jokic is terrible though.
They have a Ben Wallace at small forward. for God's sake, like.
Yeah, they do need a position lock.
Like they
This is
either
happening.
need to keep with it or get rid of it. If I'm gonna put my vote down though, they should keep with it because position locks, having fucking somebody like Carl Anthony Towns run point, that was just stupid.
Well, the whole point of bringing it in was that last year everyone was running the same bloody lineup. They were running AK-47 at point guard, and then like everyone had the same bloody lineup the whole year because, and that was their whole excuse for bringing in position locks, is people were complaining about how your entire lineup was over 7 feet tall. And then this year, by the time June came around, everyone's lineup was over 7 feet tall again, and it was like, well, why did you even bring position locks in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
And again, it was just to sell more cards because they were like, hey, I got a genius idea. We got a way to make them buy 5 different LeBron cards, the idiots.
Yeah, like it's just...
Or 5 different goddamn Giannis cards.
And people were out there spending $500-$600 on VC to pull LeBron and then sell him for 2 million VC each time. Points.
One thought that I will never get out of my head for this year that summarizes 2K20 or just my team in a nutshell is Los Polos basically putting on his Twitter that after spending over $2,000 and opening hundreds of 20 boxes, he finally pulled the Galaxy Opal out of position, Braun. Like, that was just... wow. The fact that he spent over $2K.
Ooh, wait.
Yes, Willie, 2,000.
That is something I also want to touch too.
Pardon?
The loot box system has to go badly.
Oh yes, I agree. The loot box system must go. Like, I don't understand how it's not illegal now. Because I heard that it was being proposed.
It's illegal in the UK, right?
Yeah.
No,
UK
not UK. It's somewhere.
It's somewhere in the world that basically bans loot boxes.
I think it's the Netherlands. Is it somewhere? Yeah.
It might be Sweden.
Sweden, I think. Yeah, it's Sweden.
Hang on. I'll Google this while you guys are debating.
They called it gambling, pretty much. And I agree. It's basically gambling.
Yeah, it definitely is gambling.
Yeah.
It's a game of chance, and I remember they're showing ads. You see slot machines and
Belgium.
Belgium was
the country that banned it because of Star Wars Battlefront 2 and their loot box controversy.
And I don't know if you guys heard this, but there's a story of I think it was a college student. He got he was fine, but then he got addicted to it. It was FIFA, I believe. And he spent his college savings, it was something in the thousands. It is a dangerous slope
to be going down in those loot boxes, man. You buy one and then you start buying more and more and more. I will admit, even in for years like 2K18, 2K, and even 2K6, as far as back as 2K16, I was spending hundreds upon hundreds of dollars on loot boxes for my team for my team packs.
In my opinion,
just because I wanted those cards.
In my opinion, if they're gonna allow loot boxes, make it 18 and up, and at least release the odds. I think you need to release the odds of a person actually, because one thing these companies never do is release the odds that you can actually get the card, right? They just say, "Oh, you have a chance to get this card," and when you know it's 1 in 10,000, it'll probably make you think twice.
Oh, I definitely would. Yeah, I could see
that. Yeah, it'll definitely
know.
make you think twice. 1 in 10,000,
I really liked the way that they added in more competitive ways of getting cards this year, where you can grind for certain cards. I think that was a really good add-in because it allowed it to if you want to put in 80, 90 hours, well, you can get that GOAT Kobe card, but it's going to be a hell of a grind and you need to work your ass off for it. So not a lot of people ended up with that card because it was so tough to get. But you didn't have to put in $500 of real people money to get the bloody thing.
But not just that, you kind of still had to because...
Well, yeah, you had to have a certain amount of cards.
Because you had to have a certain number of cards from each team in order to be able to even take
Yeah, but then
on
they
that
added in, you didn't need that for the
for the
The whatchamacallit,
all-time
the
and
Larry Bird
championships.
card. You didn't
Yeah,
need it
the
for the
Bird and
Larry
Curry
Bird card.
one.
You
They
didn't
didn't.
need it for the Curry one. So
But yeah, definitely the loot box system, like it definitely does have to go, or make it to where like my team is not loot box dependent, you know,
Yes.
like
Yeah,
how
I
even
they,
though
like
you
the
can get it
idea
in a
of all
loot
the
box, you
rewards
can
going
get it
through
with
it.
another option, right?
because
It's not
but I think what
exclusive
they
to the
should
loot
do,
box.
I don't know if you guys played my team in 2K16, but how they had it basically was they released overall, like the current overall players as their current overalls. So even later on in the year, you still could have like competitive types of cards. Like, for example, like you could still have like a 91 overall Kevin Durant card later on in the year and still have ways to be competitive with that card, which was nice. Or even like how they have it like set up where like the overalls this year are like in the high 80s and not, but like a high 90s or shit, especially for superstar players. Just make the current overall cards and put them in the game, so that way if you pull a say Galaxy like a pink diamond brawn at 97 overall, you know, you have still the ability to have a pink diamond card later on in the year, and you're not forced to get into the loot boxes or get into the My Team packs just to have a chance to pull a better specific card.
Agreed.
So,
And that's one thing I can say too that I like about with this year is that they have evolution cards, which in turn you
the
could
Evo
start off
cards
with
are dope.
something like you could like some cards you could start off with like an amethyst, and if you are willing to actually grind that card out, you could end up with like a pretty much like a pink diamond or a galaxy opal. Which I have to say though, in terms with the Lonzo Mourning, what was it, the prime cards, that card is somewhat broken because
Yeah,
it's
it's
already a
dope.
pink diamond, and then on top of that, which also is another thing too with the dynamic duos, it has a dynamic duo alongside the evolution. So in turn,
Yeah.
like you could end up having a Galaxy Opal that's like really broken
No,
at the
it's honestly
offense.
even with the with all the stuff, it only becomes kind of an average card right now. So, but the one thing, what's his name did say, Mike Wang said in the interview on 2KTV, he said that uh, that they're taking the evolution cards to the next level next year, where you will be able to have more control over what evolves and how it evolves and where it evolves, kind of thing.
the guy's name is
So
Brian, if I remember
they're
correctly.
going to be going further with 2K TV next, or sorry, they're going to be going further with evolution cards next year.
Let's see here. Well, I guess to move on then. What's something else? Yeah, I guess another thing too would be the my player builder. The I think it wasn't like it's a great idea and I like the idea of it. But I think there's certain issues with it, like if anything, like it should have like pre-set up stuff, but it should also have it where it's more customizable. But if there's one thing I could say that they should probably remove from the My Player Builder, um, I guess maybe like in certain cases, make like post scoring its own separate thing. I mean,
Yeah,
I know it's
Maxi
already
said
been
that
said,
earlier.
but yeah, like I
Yeah.
know it's been already said, but like it's kind of stupid when like you have it's stupid to a sense because of the fact that why would post score need to be separated amongst three separate things, but at the same time too it makes sense because they put the three things that was in relation to post scoring into their respective things, whereas post hook was more finishing, post fade was more of shooting, and then post moves being more for playmaking. But it doesn't make any sense for me to be. having to make like a pure playmaking build to get Hall of Fame post spin technician or Hall of Fame Dream Shake when I could probably have it like with something more if I had like a post scoring build or something like that. So that's one thing I could say that I think it should fix in terms of that. I guess another thing too, and actually this is another thing that I actually do have to say. They said something a while back about having private matchmaking in Pro-Am. I've not seen anything about that.
Well, they do have it, Chris, but you have to like give the password, like, because you could set up a lobby
Does it
and
actually
then
work?
yes, it
Is it not
does.
Yeah, because
broken?
it's
Yeah, because that's
okay.
how Joe knows be doing his pro-am wagers, right? He
Oh,
makes a
oh
private
yeah.
lobby, and then he sends the team that's I'm voice cracking all over the place.
Yeah.
That he sends the team that is challenging him the password, and then once they enter the password, they end up being put into a match.
Yeah, I remember one time we tried to do it last year and it didn't work. And
No,
I
it works this
was
year. Private matchmaking for pro-am does work.
Yeah,
So
it's just I know I haven't really seen or heard much on it. But I think if anything, they need to fix it, and if they're not gonna be able to fix that, then I guess it'd probably just be best to have it taken off. Even though that shouldn't be the case, but if it's not gonna work out, then why even have it in the game? So, in terms of that, another thing, um, well, let me think here. How many is that? Is that 3 so far?
yeah, if you only got 3, Chris, you don't have to say all like 5, because I think Paisley said like 6 or 7 things that he wanted
Oh,
changed.
oh well, no. I mean, there's some things that I would want to. Oh, um, what's another thing? Oh yeah, another thing too with 2K. Actually, I had it, but no, I can't think of it. It was something in relation to maybe like some of the stuff of like the rep and whatnot. Cause like I do like the idea of having Gym Rat and getting that through playing my career and all that. But like some of the stuff that doesn't make any sense, especially with my career that you have to be forced to play my career. For one thing, it's like is doing separate drills. That should never be like at any point where I have to play at least like 10 or like so many games in my career in order to unlock individual drills so I can grind for badges. That's stupid.
Yeah, I can
Um,
agree with that.
Jump shot creator, I could see that as well. The only reason why I would be more for jump shot creator because it had its own separate drill, and I could see that in that case. But at the same time, too, it's stupid because you're forced to have to play my career in order to be able to create your own jump shot or
So are
just to
you
do
suggesting, like,
whatever.
just in total, are you suggesting, like, forcing players to have to play my career to get certain rewards that they could just get elsewhere?
In certain cases, yes, if it's beneficial on time, like the available drills and all that, that should not be, any reason to play my career. But if you can get Gym Rat from playing, a season through my career, I feel like that's a little bit more justified in terms of actually just trying to grind for rep because there's people that don't like play 2K like every day like some people do, and they just can't really like get rep like that. So in turn of like playing a full season of my career to get Gym Rat, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's justified. So in terms of that, hopefully they don't remove that because it helps a whole lot, and at least they're having the purpose of people actually having a reason to play my career,
Mm.
despite it being maybe boring and all that in certain cases.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
if
Having to grind through my career is really boring. Not, yeah, like, just,
But yeah,
But
like
anyways,
if anything, though, that's one thing. And then I guess one last thing, and it's more on terms of gameplay and whatnot. Um, One thing that I tend to see and I have a big issue with is 50-50 plays. Because there are so many times where I've played and I should have either gotten a steal or like a rebound after a block, which that ain't the biggest thing, but more of like, plays where you should get steals or it should be a turnover for the other team. It doesn't happen.
I
Yeah,
think
that's something
Paisley
I talked
touched on
about
that.
earlier
I
a
think
lot.
Paisley
Yeah, like
touched
the
on that.
blocks after steals or the rebounds after blocks thing pisses me off.
Yes, and it's so stupid because it makes no sense on how you could have a high, just like every case of it being like going towards your way and it just gets cut off because they get the ball. It's so
Yeah.
stupid. And I see it happen all the time. It's just ridiculous. Like it makes no sense to me whatsoever. And it was I could probably count the number of games like where we've played in rec and whatnot. And like we know we should have got the steal and we never did. And then in some
Hmm.
cases, them plays literally cost us games.
Yep.
Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um, so if anything, if they could probably maybe fix that in some way. I mean, it makes no sense on how you could get like a bump steal real easy, but then you work to get a steal and then just like you don't end up getting it. It's
Right.
so
And they need to have more hustle play functions. I
Hmm.
feel like
oh
hustling is like invisible in this game. It just doesn't
yeah.
Oh
happen.
no, it's there. It's just you don't get rewarded. Like I've seen so many times where Willie dives out of bounds to save a ball, and then ultimately ends up on a turnover on him.
Yeah, it's like the hustle function, it doesn't actually result in a beneficial,
Hmm.
like, I've seen, like, I think an AI has done it before, but not an actual user player.
You
So
got any
it's
more,
possible
Crust?
they just haven't done anything about it.
Well, I guess one thing, and I mean, it's kind of happened beforehand. It'd be like sometimes when like with like rebounding, players might end up like just stealing the ball right away or that, but I mean, that happens.
Oh,
But that's kind of a little, yeah, that's a little irritating. It's like,
yeah, I think we also touched on that when it came to the interceptions and steals, because that also does play into it as well.
yes. And that's another thing too, I'd say. I feel like depending on what kind of build that you make in terms of like what is the primary thing, you should get certain badges towards that. Like with playmaking, you have floor general and dimer as like you know playmaking exclusive badges, and then well at least in certain builds that is or
Hmm.
positions, and then like with defense, you have defensive leader. I feel like maybe interceptor could be maybe one, but then again I don't know. Uh, I would say maybe for shooting, like if you had like a like a pure like or a primary build for shooting, maybe have something where you can have a badge that goes towards just that build by itself as well as finishing. Because I mean, like you kind of have like players that could like just dunk on people and all this stuff. Maybe like if you had something like with finishing or something like that, you have like where you could probably like just like have it where you could like I don't know, maybe dunk on two or three people or something like that. Like for example, and have that just that badge exclusive for like that main pie chart, or like that's what your build is mainly towards. It pretty much prioritizes. But
All right.
but yeah, I think like that's probably like for the most part all that I had to say. If anything, the main things that they need to get rid of is having people to be forced to play my career to do like just to get something like regular drills and jump shot creator, because that makes no sense. And fix up my team a little bit, because it makes no sense with any of the position locks, especially seeing that with the position locks, you're still gonna have players, and they're gonna still be at like point guard and whatnot when they should be playing center regardless. So I mean, it kind of just defeated the purpose.
All right.
They should allow like
That's
a
pretty
real
much it.
team practice and like pre-game shoot arounds. Make it feel team authentic, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
All
and
right.
yeah, I mean, like I think that would be good. And I think if you was to have like maybe something with like team practices and like authentic ones, you could probably get like a big boost towards like getting badges. But have it where it's like limited, like you play like maybe 5 or 6 my career games here and there, but even then, there's really no point in doing that. So I guess I could say if they was to have something like that, maybe you could play a my career game, maybe like 3, 4 rec games or something like that. Then it might just come up or something like that. So it's not like you just had the force to play my career. It's random, but all you have to do is just play games.
All
So
right.
then that way it can work out. So I think that would be a good idea in terms of having people go to practice to do stuff.
All right.
So,
That, yeah, I could agree with those. Maxie, do you got anything? Because we're approaching quite a bit of time, and
No, I
if you got
think
any
all my
opinion, if you got any
points
ideas,
are
man.
covered.
Pardon?
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think all my points are covered.
You think your points were covered? Anybody else got anything to add? Just real quick.
Let me see.
um, I can't really think of anything else. I think I said almost.
Okay. Rob, you got any other
Oh yeah, that's
points?
actually no, actually that's a good point. The whole yeah, I
Oh
yeah, I
yeah, the
think they probably
fluctuating
need
overall
to.
system needs to go. I think once you hit 99.9, you shouldn't be going down or up anymore. You should lock in at 99 overall.
Well, at least you shouldn't be affected by losing a game.
Hmm.
You should be affected by your actual performance in the game. Right?
Yeah, because there'll be games where Maxi gets like 30 rebounds, but unfortunately we end up losing, and then he takes an attribute hit.
In
Yeah.
fact, I think there was one game where I had like a triple double.
Oh yeah, no, you have to play my career for that, which is annoying. And I think, like I suggested, once you hit 99.9, I think you should your attributes should lock in place, and you should not go down or up.
Yeah.
Anyways, Paisley, you got any more?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, Willie, you good, man?
Yes, sir. I'm a
All
full
right.
smack
Okay, so
gang.
I think with that is going to be our first video. If you
Hmm.
guys did agree with anything that we pointed out, obviously do feel to let us know in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you guys did enjoy, because, you know, just taking 1 second to press the like button makes a huge difference, and it will make Willie feel warm and fuzzy inside, which, is always good to have.
Nigga, what? I can get this whole video demonetized. Don't play me.
uh, but no, seriously,
Holy
guys, though, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking the time out to listen through this long video. Um, Again, hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new, as we will try to do some more content, not with just like us sitting here having discussions, but also maybe streaming Pro-Am games or Rec Center games, maybe even having film breakdowns with some of the guys here, depending on what we can do. But with that out of the way, guys, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.